back into the religion. They don't ask them these things, but
No,
I
they
ask them
don't.
these things and I catch them out, and I recommend to the sister, I said, look, stay away from this brother.
Yeah.
But they don't listen. Now, getting back to business, right? Now, in your service, does it, I mean, are you successful because you interrogate people? Do you ask these people certain questions before you actually say to them, yeah, you are on there,
Well,
or you just leave it to the families there, and the family, they just get the families together and
the
then...
families get to know each other afterwards. We don't get involved with that. But I'm just saying in general, I always give advice to people. If you do see a good brother, don't reject him. You know, get along with the family, because these brothers are really difficult to find, and the same for sisters. So we try and give as much Islamic advice as we possibly can. Sometimes people come back and they ask us questions like, what should we do? You know, I don't like this brother because of this. Is this correct? So we're here as support as well. From a business point of view, because it's a community project, it's not, because it's very new, we're not getting regular people every month. Sometimes we get 2, sometimes we get 20. Sometimes it's just, it goes up and down sometimes. And so
it's a seasonal service.
It's like a seasonal service, yeah. At the moment,
but the
alhamdulillah,
database is growing.
Yeah, no, it's always growing. Alhamdulillah, it's always growing.
And I've also noticed on your site you've got so many corporate sponsors or people that are recommending your service, and you've had some successes.
These organisations that are on our website have approved our system, and they have approved it as an Islamic system that would be successful, inshallah. Now, the problem that we're having with the general public is because it's a new service, people are finding it difficult maybe to trust it. So we thought, you know, if people knew that these organisations are supporting us, then inshallah it would be more comfortable for them to approach us.
These are like mosques and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Ashraf has it on his iPad. Is that right? Yeah. So that's your site. So basically, it doesn't really. They can't just register online here.
No.
They only get their registration once
on
they've actually been gone through the interview process. So. So you said that basically they pay a membership fee, an annual fee, and then what happens from there? They just log on to the site, and it just works like an online dating sort of, but halal.
It's like an introductory service, because like I said, there's no contact at all between the two parties. Everything is done through us, and everything's done through an alert system. So, you know, and then we go ahead and arrange the meetings for them. And
that's the big problem. People don't know where to meet people. There's lots of good people out there, but no one's networking. Obviously, there's like Facebook services, people trying to connect people, but you usually end up just connecting with people that you already know. So, I mean, I assume you're trying to provide a service where you connect good people, whoever good people that you fully verified. But I don't know, this sounds like a really good service. What kind of people are you attracting at the moment? Is it like a diverse range of people? Is it maybe the older people? Is it the young people?
The majority of our members are between 24 and 37. We've got all different backgrounds and ethnic groups and ages, but the majority of them at the moment are Asians. So we've got a lot of Pakistani and Indian people at the moment. Arabs are growing now as well, because we're based in Edgware Road now. So we're managing to put in a few Arabs here and there.
So that's like just a walk-in service? They could just walk into the office and have an interview, or they have to book an appointment?
They do need to book an appointment, yes. And the only reason we do that is because we don't want them to feel embarrassed.
You just come in and then other people are getting interviewed, and it's like a long queue. And I understand that. So just before we go into the other business, which is photography business, and tell us more about that and stuff, I just want to go to Ashraf really and tell us about the technology and how it's going, how's the market going for the dating sites and the social networks. I mean, what's going on there? Well, the market growing, expanding, shrinking?
Dating sites have been huge. They're the original social networks. I mean, you know, Match.com, that was small and it was taken over by a bigger company. I think Yahoo took over, I'm not sure. You got OkCupid, this is a free service, but I don't want to mention any names. I'm not endorsing these sort of services, but they're huge.
They're non-halal, regular, conventional dating sites. But now how's the social networks affecting it? I mean, what's happened? Because obviously now you've got all these social networks out there, people are meeting each other. How's the industry going?
Well, the big plan right now is people are trying to unify all the social networks, so rather than having to sign up in several different places, you got like one main hub of information. But I mean, what's going on here is like she's actually verifying her members, whereas online people I know so many people who just make lots of fake information out there and just scout the territory. And these are like, mashallah, good deen people. I don't know why they did it, for fun I guess. But it is expanding. Everyone likes to have an alter ego. Usually they take over that fancy playing games, but now they can play a game in real life in a social kind of network. So I commend you for actually meeting these people and slightly verifying, because I always talk to my friends, I was like, why don't you ever try to recommend people? Like I always said, like, I always personally try to introduce people. I'm not the kind of person to just say, oh, I know her, I'm keeping her to myself. That's just, I don't believe that. I think everyone should just know people.
Help each other.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the reason why people don't want to do that, just like you earlier mentioned, is they don't want to take the risk if it goes wrong.
Yeah. So how's the market going, basically, from like since the social networks have moved in? Is there an effect? Has it had a bad effect or positive effect to the dating?
It's really positive. Ever since social networks kicked in, people have become more confident with uploading their profiles. Before, everyone was scared. Everyone got like the idea that the internet is for like hackers. They'll find your information, everything. But now everyone's like publishing their information left, right, and center. It's really like it's actually it's encouraging people to get out there and try making a name for themselves. So I mean, does that help your people uploading their pictures? Because I assume a lot of Muslim people just don't like sharing their pictures online.
We don't really find a problem.
No problem.
I mean, most people actually, they're fine uploading their pictures, again, because they're there for genuine reasons. And they know that it's private, so people, you know, outside the database can't view them.
Yeah.
And then obviously we get some people who aren't comfortable.
MashaAllah.
With
I think she's successful, and she'll continue. The business will grow, and there's a big opportunity because of that offline, interview process. From the research that I actually done prior to the show, I found that the market is actually suffering quite heavily, especially the dating sites are now actually suffering, and they're losing money because of the social network sites. More people are now meeting, from the conventional, I'm not talking about just the Muslim community, but more people are now trying to connect and find their partners through the free social networks instead of going and paying a membership for the online thing like that. But now, what the Afaf matrimonials have done, and Mona, what she's done, she's created this system whereby she's got a filtering system, and it's really attracting the serious people. So it's not so much about quality, it's quantity. So that's what she's got, and that's why she's successful.
It's true that a lot of people are using social networks to try to find other people, but the idea of social networks is networking with your friends and your friends' friends. You can't really get to know people that are outside your social groups. That's where the dating websites fit into that equation. And okay, sure, there's all the paid services of dating websites. They might be hit by the people who are just out there for fun, but the genuine people who are looking to make a connection, they're still paying lots of money for these services. These services are thriving. There's even free networks coming up, and they're catering. I mean, how many Muslim online dating sites have appeared over the past couple of years? There's so many different. But what I'd like to know from your experiences, are they supportive of you, or are they usually trying to get the market share? Or like if you say, I provide this service, it's specialized, it's an offline community, can we work together to advertise to get our more awareness out there? Do they say, no, we want to share to ourselves? How does other businesses?
Yeah, they tend to keep themselves to themselves, and again, even if we did partner with them,